Okay, so you know how Kanye, I'm like, really? Whatever, I don't know, but I'm gonna explain it. Okay, so Kanye, he said, Hitler not that bad after all. Like, Nazis didn't, you see in that clip with the journalist? Okay, oh my God, this is the final straw. Kanye. How could he say that the Nazis did something good when they killed all them Jewish people? What about Operation Paperclip? When the US government brought all those Nazi scientists over to work for NASA, to work on different projects for the government. All those Japanese people and German people who were torturing Jewish people and Chinese people, all these people, they brought them over to create all these things that we have today, and we celebrate them. We take our kids out to see the rocket ships go up into the sky, but those were made by Nazis.
Mercedes.
Volkswagen. He just said
we might just have to add
like
sheesh. So my name is Naz.
And my name is Ronnie.
And we are New Girls on the Block. So this week, as y'all hearing,
we getting into unpopular opinions.
Yes.
We shaking the table, y'all.
We definitely are, because there's so much stuff that's going on in this world that, like, why are we looking over stuff and then not acknowledging other things? Like, and I feel like it's a lot of, I don't know. So yeah,
I feel like in this time, I feel like as a people, everything has been so divisive that people feel like they either have to be on this team or this team, and there's no in between, and that's where it gets really dangerous.
Yes.
Because people, first of all, have a right to change their minds. People have a right to have different opinions. I understand hate speech is never a good thing, but groupthink is never a good thing as well. Just because enough people say something is true or we should believe in something does not mean that it's the truth. That is the same tactics of propaganda, and it's very dangerous.
It is. It really is. And I mean, this is kind of like an extra topic, but even how Democrats and Republicans, if you think about it, America is based on dividing, and the Democrats hate the Republicans hate the Democrats. It's like, oh, I'm a Democrat, I believe in so and so and so and so, but then a Republican has to believe in so and so, or like if you're a Republican, you pro Trump, you pro this. If you're a Democrat, you pro. But it's like, where's the fine line of like, why do we either have to be either a Republican or a Democrat?
Yeah, you know? When there's multiple parties, but nobody pays attention, and then you get guilted if you vote independent or if you vote green to what you truly believe in. You get guilted because they say, well, you know they're not going to win, so that's just taking away votes from the Democrat.
Yeah, like forcing it down our throats when it's like, dude, do y'all even believe in these people? Yeah, do y'all even research? Exactly. And it's just, I feel like we could jump into the Donald Trump situation, but I feel like we all seeing how Donald Trump ran the office and seeing that, we was like, okay, this dude crazy. Everybody jumped the gun for Joe Biden
because he was just like anything to get away from Trump. But that was really dangerous too. And I can admit, I was one of those people telling my sister, oh, you need to vote. Because I voted for Bernie Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
And then I didn't vote for the main primary, girl. That's when I went to Africa. I was like,
oh, yeah. I was like, they hate me.
I was like, deuces. But I was still telling people, like, no matter what, even though this is not the best choice for us, it's the better of two evils. But now, fast forward to 2023.
Yeah.
What you think, girl?
Girl, okay. So, my opinions on Donald Trump being president. Of course, he was crazy. Everybody knew he was just this jerk, and like he had this persona about him who, he really didn't care, and he just was about money. That's what he built his whole career off of.
Bro was like money. China.
But if you think about it, like for me, like, and let me not I know y'all gonna be hating or whatever, but I feel like the good thing about Donald Trump being president is that we knew what he was and what type of person he was. We knew he was a jerk. We knew that he gonna get into some crazy stuff and be just, you know, a mess. But I feel like with Joe Biden, we all jumped the gun because he's for the people. He's doing this
I think we jumped the gun because he's friends with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders was for the people.
Yeah.
Biden is literally a corporate Democrat who's historically voted against the black community, against women. But we were like,
since he was
Trump is just the worst of the worst of the worst.
And then since he was with Obama's vice president, it's like, he's gonna do the same thing Obama. You know, because Obama was, I feel like during that time, even though Obama, he's still a president, and it's still.
I'm like, that could be another unpopular opinion.
Yeah, because
he just may have been the most charming war criminal.
I think that's
because he definitely bombed excessive amount of people. And Barack Obama deported the most immigrants under his administration. So.
And that's a thing what we were talking about. A lot of people just cover up certain, like block out the certain bad things somebody do just to keep that persona of them being, this person that you think is like the best president and think that he's doing good for the people. He's black, he's for the people, blah, blah, blah. But y'all need to look deeper sometimes. And I feel like most people
and kinfolk.
And especially just because Joe Biden was his vice president, it's what's
didn't make him qualified.
It definitely did not. I feel like it's really nothing that he's doing right now that's like, okay, I see him as a good president.
I feel like maybe if he tried 20 years ago, he's literally the oldest president we ever had.
Oh yeah,
bro is like he don't even know where he at. He
don't
even know what day it is.
I'm sure. Like
when I see him trying to shake the flag. Remember, he turned around. He was trying to shake somebody's hand, but nobody was there.
Oh, see,
I was like, bro, going through Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and they just
propped him up like, you have to do this. You have to be the one who takes over. And no.
Now look where we at. It's like and I can't say that everything that happened during his reign.
That's how I feel, girl.
Yeah, true. But during his presidency, it's like we can't say that everything that happened is due to him because it could be the
after effects of Trump.
What Trump was doing, but still, it's
definitely, especially with the Supreme Court. Trump made sure before he got out. He made sure that the Supreme Court was predominantly conservative. So no matter what Biden wants to pass, it has to go through a conservative court. But it's just so much.
I feel like it's overall, for me, I would not say I'm either Democrat or Republican. I am. Like, I just feel like none of this stuff is like...
For you.
Yeah, for me. And it's not affecting girl... I mean, not get into all of that, but I remember like the voting thing. This dude came up to me like when the voting season was. He's like, "Oh, did you vote?" I was like, "Oh no." Me as a black woman, this man as a white man. What? You didn't vote? Like they're gonna take your rights. They're gonna do this, and I'm like, dude, I've been living as a black woman in society. Who's gonna like literally? It's like, and I get where he was coming from, but it's like, how are you?
Unpopular opinion. We need to be focused on local legislation.
Yes.
Not a primary, national primary, because that does have effects on us, yes. But our local government, our mayor, the person who's deciding to fix our roads, the people who are deciding to invest in our schools, the people who is running the police units in our neighborhoods, that's what matters to me. Joe Biden, like I said, Joe Biden, I haven't seen him. Kamala, she been in the White House getting a suppressed. So I don't know where's Kamala.
Yeah, because she been missing. And Joe
every
Biden.
time I see her, she's saying something
crazy,
dumb.
Yeah,
I'd rather you say something crazy than just something dumb.
True.
Because I'm like, girl.
Yeah, and I feel like the issue is that it's just showing like, oh, we're just gonna pretend that we're for the community and for this, and like pretend that we're just these people who want to help and do everything good, but it's really don't believe.
So,
it can't be.
it's like, would you rather have a straight up racist or polite racist?
Straight up.
Yeah, I feel like Biden's just a polite racist.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's like and that's the thing, it's like when it's a secretive type of like
animosity.
Yeah, it's like they have ulterior motives. It's like they try to pretend in your face, but then in the back, you know, it could stab you in the back. But it's like if you already know who the person is, you know this racist, you know, it's like, okay, we know them for who they are.
Yeah.
So
you know how to prepare yourself to go against the enemy when you know exactly the enemy's cards.
Exactly.
You know?
So I feel like overall this presidency thing,
it's just a hot mess. I feel like I'm ready for it to be like I know I'm always about revolution, but it needs to be a restructure. I'm tired of these old white men trying to run everything.
Like
it's like y'all are out of touch. You old, you dusty. What's the video?
And y'all was in. He was alive when it was segregation.
Yes, he was.
So, and I'm sure he was on the white side of things.
Hey,
so what?
Okay, so another unpopular opinion. Did you see the video of LeBron the other day?
So stay away from all of that.
She's like, no. Okay, so I just think it's crazy that everybody was so quick to put Kyrie Irving in the position to not have a livelihood anymore, to not be able to work because he spoke out against a community. Yeah. Or he didn't even speak out because he just posted a video. He didn't say anything. He just posted a link to a video. That's all he did.
Really? See,
he never gave any context of what he personally believed in.
Yeah.
Anything. He literally just posted a link. Nothing else. And bro has to give $500,000, has to apologize to multiple people after he already apologized and said, I'm sorry. I seen a clip of the video, the clip that the part of the movie I watched, I resonated with. Yeah. I didn't finish the whole film, so I didn't see the parts that you guys are offended by.
Yeah.
Now that I watched it, I apologize. I see how it can offend people.
And they still...
I feel like that was good.
Yeah.
You know? But then they have these owners of football teams and basketball teams that are getting caught. What's the man's name? I feel like it's Jim Jones. The owner of the Nets, I believe, got caught in a picture segregation thing. Yes. And he's over here on the white side, not letting black people segregate into schools.
Yeah.
But now you're running a fucking team with black people on it.
Modern day slavery.
Let's talk about it. Modern day slavery. But nobody's asking LeBron to speak on him.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking these athletes, oh, what do you think is nobody's giving their commentary on how this person's the worst fucking piece of shit in the world. Yeah. But Kyrie Irving is?
Girl. Okay. Even with Kyrie Irving in the black community, I've seen, so, you know, the black people vote black people most of the time. Yeah. And a lot of us, we understand where that
comes from.
Yeah, but I see now they're calling out his baby mama, his mother of his children, saying, yes! And they be like, anybody who's ever pro-black always got a baby mama that look like this. Well, they always try to say they pro-black, but this woman is a black woman.
Love is love.
Literally.
And she's a black woman who's light-skinned.
And that's where the colorism started getting crazy. Like, okay, we get it. Throughout history, darker skin tones were, like, literally, and it was, this divide was created by whites, first of all. So, lighter skinned people were always, like, okay, supposedly more favored, you know, and it in the white community because that's the ones who they wanted in the whatever house. So,
and let's be clear, we understand that colorism affects communities all around the world.
Most definitely.
Asian people, black people, yes. Native people, all kind of people, but we're specifically talking about and addressing colorism within the black community.
Yes. So, yeah, like this divide of darker skin, not right, and lighter skin, whatever, was created by white people and
perpetuated.
Yeah, perpetuated in media that the white is right, whatever, and to look good, you gotta be lighter skin, you gotta be white. White people are like, was considered
The epitome
of beauty. So that trekked throughout time, and of course people with the mindsets of, oh, I'm gonna follow whatever, so they're following the trend of that. It's like, okay, now it's getting old, and now we're growing as a community and understanding that was not right. But at the same time, for somebody who is pro-black but has a light-skinned wife, why now it's reverse? Like, why are y'all doing that?
It's reverse colorism. Nah, but I'm not gonna hold you. Sometimes I feel like people weaponize colorism and they use it as another way to divide within the black community. Yeah. It's like we're doing the work of segregation and racism within our own community. Yeah. It's upholding like divisiveness within our own community. Yes. Just because somebody is lighter skin tone does not mean that they are not black. I think that is so offensive. It is. And I think for us to try to take away each other's identity based on skin color is fucking crazy. You can literally go to Africa today and see people that are lighter than me. Yes. That are African and have no white blood or no other mixed blood in them. And it's just like, okay, now what are you gonna say? Yeah, why is that always the argument? And then I think it makes people lazy. I think it makes them mentally lazy to blame everything on colorism. Cause like I was saying earlier, I'm a darker skinned black woman. Like I know colorism exists. I've been affected by colorism. Yes. I feel like we all have, whether you are darker skinned or lighter skinned, because it affects you in different ways. Yes. But to make, like, if you don't get a job, it's because of you're darker. If you don't get the partner you want, it's because you're darker. Yeah. If you don't get, like, where does the accountability for your seal come in, first of all? Exactly. Are you a good person? Yeah. That'd be the question. And then, like we talked about on another episode, if when it comes to, like, dating or, like, hanging out with people, if I'm dark-skinned and I'm attracted to a person who's lighter skinned and they say, oh, I don't want to be with a dark skinned woman, I am not about to make a whole think piece and be like, well, you should be with me regardless of my skin tone. You should not want to have to prove to somebody why they should be attracted to you. Ever. If somebody's black and they're saying, oh, I don't want to date black women or dark skinned women because you guys are just, that's their problem. They need to be educated. But that is not necessarily my job at all, to have to educate every light-skinned person who feels like I'm not attractive. Yes. Because I can use that as creating space for me to go to the next person who's going to find me attractive. Literally, like everybody is not meant to, and not saying, because I know colorism exists, and I know people are ignorant and dumb who would just go about, oh, I don't find y'all blah blah, because what, like, people are just dumb. So first of all, if anybody ever told me that in life, I feel like I'll be like, why am I talking to you? It's okay, I don't ever, like, you're somebody I never want to date ever. If anybody is like that, like, I feel like it's gonna be like, okay, he's somebody that don't need to be in my life. Right. There's somebody that I never need to associate myself with. Right. So why put up the fight to get somebody's affection if all you gonna try to just, like, ain't no way I'm gonna try to convince somebody to like me. Yeah, like, and I'm a firm believer, because I do believe colorism is real, and I believe it can be very parasitic and very bad. But if I go on Twitter every day and we having the light skin, dark skin conversation, why not take those conversations to a higher level, and let's talk about why darker skinned people are being jailed at a way higher rate than lighter skin. Let's take the conversation to a higher level and not fight each other about it. Not fight each other. Let's break it down and tackle the systems that are upholding colorism that actually makes it almost impossible for us to progress in certain spaces. Let's break down those systems so we can have an easier life, and we won't have to be like, well, you got this because you're light skinned. It could be room for all of us at the table if we start to break down these actual systems and say, hey, let's not fight me and you. This is the person resources, enough land, enough whatever we need. Let's go and talk to them because maybe they're the problem.
Yes,
and they're lighter than all of us.
And not each other. Like, literally, that's all it is. How about we come together to fight the system that puts us down? So like that's one thing that bothers me. It's like, and I get it throughout history, but let's come together. Let's not divide ourselves as light skin, dark skin, this or that. Mix this, like, dude. Like, we could all come together and figure this system out and figure it out.
Because she likes skin.
Yeah,
like, what? You sound crazy.
And not even just...
Or her body's only like that because she's darker skin.
Yeah,
like, no,
it's always this
ignorant.
or that. Or dark... Oh, the thing... dark skin women don't like me because I'm light skin. Like, they just... No! Like, all of this stuff could be just...
And it becomes like a fetish. Like, my sister, Dana, always sends me a picture of really dark women. And then she'll send me the comments. And she'll be like, how come? Like, she's like, I get that she's beautiful, yes. But how come all the comments are just commenting on her skin tone, calling her chocolate, or like, you're such a dark, beautiful woman. Why does it have to revolve around her skin tone?
Yeah,
Why
not just a beautiful woman.
Yeah. So it could like... Colorism could get really tricky. I feel like we do need to acknowledge it.
Yes.
And we do need to start to try to break it down. But I think the way we're doing it and arguing on Twitter every day and doing it with basic stuff about who Chris Brown lets in his section. Girl, I don't give a damn who Chris Brown let in his section.
Like, so?
Yeah,
like what? That's and we should have been canceled Chris Brown a long time ago.
Like,
so I feel like y'all still arguing about the same thing and still bringing up Chris Brown and how he don't like dark skinned women and stuff. But do y'all see what type of, is that the man y'all want? That's the type of man y'all want. Like,
talk about it.
Like, no, y'all should start. And I feel like the whole thing, and it sucks because as a community, we were brought down into, like I said, the media puts out white is beautiful and stuff like that. So it's a sense of insecurities tied behind a lot that we project and bring a negative light into another skin tone, or like, and it's always this argument because you really gotta look within yourself and find beauty within yourself, and that way nobody can tell you nothing. Like, if you're the most lightest skin person or you the most darkest skin person, you in between, whatever, as long as you love yourself and you know you that girl, that guy, that person, and don't let nobody's opinion affect you, that's when it's like, okay, it's no reason to argue because you that girl, you that guy. And
don't ever, for all my light-skinned cousins out there, don't let nobody make you feel like you are not black enough because you're lighter skin. Or they want to ask you, if they see you know what I hate? When people, and I'm darker skin. I'm not the darkest on the spectrum, but I consider myself dark skin. Yeah. And people will say, what are you mixed with? That is not a compliment. It's especially when black people, I know Deja used to go through this a lot too. What are you mixed with? And then you say, I'm black. Nah. Yeah. Nah. You can't just be black. Nah. So what is that saying about how you feel about black people and their perception?
Exactly. Because I've been through the same thing.
It's
like
crazy. When
I was working, like, I used to work in different places, like in customer service, and have to deal with a lot of different people. Somebody was like, where are you from? Are you from Panama? Are you from? And I'm like, dude, I'm black. And it's like, what? Like, no, you gotta be from some. And I'm like, do you think that's gonna make, what you think that's gonna do?
Like, I forgot, my bad. I'm like 10% white, on the plantation shit go down. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, exactly. Yeah, my great grandma, she had to fight off them slave owners. Or, gets dark real fast.
Very. like, my great got molested by a white person now, then my other sibling, like, what? No, like, whatever it is. I feel like people really, that question should be
off limits.
Off limits, like, literally. Because that's like, why do we equate beauty within the Black community as have to be mixed with something else.
Because you don't find true beauty within yourself. And then when you don't find true beauty within yourself, you're looking at everybody else and being like, well, you're only cute or you're only beautiful because of this.
Yeah.
You're only beautiful because of this. When it's beauty is from within.
Exactly. And it radiates outside. And that's when I feel like no matter what, when you believe and know you have confidence in yourself and know you're a beautiful person inside and out and project that way you are inside and out, that's when, literally, more people will see that radiate off you, and it's literally, that's the science of attraction. Yeah. And
now y'all know how she got so beautiful.
we got so beautiful. But truly, that's have confidence in yourselves. Literally, that's no matter what you look like. I don't care. Literally, you can have confidence in yourself, and that's all that matters. Yes. Whoever you somebody's gonna be into that. So.
Okay, we was talking about Chris Brown. Let's move on to our next singer. So another unpopular opinion. Mr. Robert, please come to the stage. So,
Robert Kelly.
Tomatoes. So our next unpopular opinion is when we're upset at these celebrities or these people for doing bad things, horrific things, assaulting people, abusing people, are we truly upset at that specific person, or are we upset about everybody who abuses, takes advantage, or are predatory? Because I find it very interesting that R. Kelly is in jail, as he should be.
Yeah.
As he should be.
Mm-hmm.
He's in jail, and we've all had the common understanding that we're not going to listen to R. Kelly anymore. We're not going to stream his music. We're not going to make him any more richer from being a predator.
Yes.
But at the same time, we watch TV, we watch these movies that are being produced by Harvey Weinstein and all these other predators in Hollywood, but mainly Harvey Weinstein. There's many, many predators in Hollywood.
Many.
The list would be we would be here.
Everybody would be canceled tomorrow.
Yeah. But why are we holding one person accountable, but we're not completely canceling the other person?
Yes.
Why, when we see that it's from his company, we're still watching the movies, we're still making sure they're syndicated? As soon as Bill Cosby was called out, they pulled the Cosby Show.
Everything was pulled. Bill Cosby had no positive light shine on him.
And we have to remember that doesn't only affect Bill Cosby, that affects Rashida.
Yeah.
That affects everybody involved. Miss Kravitz. Or Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
She's not Miss Kravitz anymore. Lisa Bonet. It affects everybody, but why is it that only they get punished and not everybody?
We know why.
They ain't got the complexion for the affection.
See?
Yeah.
So,
or for the protection. They ain't got the complexion for the protection.
But that is too true. Literally, we cut, and as a community, we should have cut off R. Kelly. He obviously took advantage of younger women and did the most craziest thing. I don't even know how much deeper.
I didn't watch that movie.
Yeah, I didn't want, because that's one thing I did not play with, kids. No. But Harvey Weinstein
was out here turning out little girl. I feel like he was, even though people are not saying he was predatory, I'm sure there's plenty of 16, 17-year-old actresses that are trying to make it, and they end up in these parties and, hey, you want to be in the movie?
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
See? Yeah, and literally this scene and the Hollywood glitz and glitter is literally a facade, because so many people were going through so much, and so just to try to make it, just to be okay, dang, this is what I want to do, so I'm gonna try, and I have to do these things because this is what the higher ups are telling me to do.
And if you're thinking about it, because he's literally tried to tear down so many women. Like I was watching a documentary about Salma Hayek, and he literally he was producing the Freedom movie.
Okay.
And he forced her, because he felt like, oh, it wouldn't be sexy. He forced her to have like a kissing scene with another woman in the thing. Mind you, she wrote this to like show the beauty and the art of Frida Kahlo. And he forced her to be like super sexual to the point where she didn't want to do it. She started throwing up and crying because she was so uncomfortable. He told her she's never going to be shit. She's never going to work in Hollywood. Like, because he was obsessed with her, he wanted to sleep with her, and she was just like, no.
Yeah.
And like, he was literally trying to own these women. And it's just like, okay, if you don't do what I say, you're not going to have any way to work. Yeah. You're not going to have any way to support your family. You're going to be a bum on the street. And it's because you don't want to sleep with me.
See,
that is crazy.
That is mental and physical abuse combined.
Yeah, because and then these men tell these women, oh, I think he had comment on her body too. It's like, oh, you're so soft. And it's like, you're trying to promote this unreal. That's a Latina woman. You're trying to make her fit into your Eurocentric beauty standard of being small and tiny and like very hard. And to me, another unpopular opinion is like, when these guys be trying to get these girls to lose all this weight to look so prepubescent, it gives child pedophile. Literally. It gives predator. It gives fucking, it's weird. And if he could tell, hey, I don't think it's a far stretch for him to be into that kind of stuff. Yeah. You know? Exactly. And it's just, it's unacceptable. Even with the Harvey Weinstein, he was over and using Victoria's Secret to funnel in models. He was friends with the owner of Victoria's Secret, and he was having girls come in like, oh, you could be casted for Victoria's Secret, coming to his house. And you're over here taking advantage, raping, molesting 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds in hopes that they'll be the next big thing. But we're still shopping at Victoria's Secret. Well, y'all are, because baby, I'm shopping at Fenty.
Period.
But yeah,
no way.
If we're gonna hold one predator accountable, we have to hold them all accountable. Exactly. Because it loses credibility. And people want to look at the Black community like they're crazy because they're like, well, maybe we shouldn't have Bill Cosby in jail regardless if he did this or not. Yeah. It is not because he didn't do the crime. It's because should only one group of people be punished for doing things that another group of people
are getting away with
it? And actually glorifying it and putting it into their art, and their films, and Balenciaga, and all their media, and make it into a thing. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it gets deep, and I think we should all have a sit down and cancel. If y'all canceling one, y'all gotta cancel all because this is not right. And I'm a firm believer in canceling all. Like that Balenciaga thing, no way. That should be, their brand should be done. Harvey Weinstein's brand, I'm sure his company, his production company, is still making millions of dollars.
Yes, because I was having a conversation with somebody and they're like, no, he's effectively bankrupt and da-da-da. I was like, do you know, like, people could move money, they could wash money, they could put their money in shells. They could literally have another company that's not even related to movies, and they could be funneling all the money through there. They could have their child or an associate go and start another independent production company that's being funded by the same money, that has the same like backing behind it. Like, people have to think and be critical thinkers, because when you're not a critical thinker, that's how you get got.
Exactly. Like, with all aspects of life.
Literally. You'll be out here confused, talk about we need to stop predators and women empowerment, but you're over here putting money into men's hands that abuse women every day. Like,
every day. So we gonna have to this, like, literally, this is something that I feel like should be looked at and understood by most, to see like, okay, y'all, we all cancel R. Kelly, cool. We need to cancel Harvey. We need to cancel all these other freaking Nickelodeon, Dan Schneider.
Yeah, Dan Schneider. How is he different from R. Kelly?
How?
He had these children pouring liquids on themselves. He was taking advantage of these kids. He was letting his fetish, like, ew, like,
girl. And I even seen a story
so
about, I think it was in what's her name's book, Jeanette she said that the cast of Victorious, he would let them party and he'd be like, come, like, we're gonna party and drink, and like they would be partying every night, drinking every night. And then he seen the cast of iCarly, they were like, all these people were kids.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, I'm gonna, like, they didn't want to, and they're like, oh, you guys are boring. The cast, like, and trying to, like, convince them that that's the right way to live. Yeah. Like,
and that show never got as popular as Victorious. And it could be, and those were two of the most popular characters on Nickelodeon. And I know that she had her issues with Ariana Grande at the time and all that stuff. But I'm sure the fact that they wasn't down to party and do drugs and do all this stuff is the same reason why they may have not been as popular. Yeah. Or even like Demi Lovato said she was addicted to coke at 14, 13. Who was giving her the drugs?
Yeah. How was she getting access to this?
Yeah, she was going on set and filming Sunny with a Chance and doing all this. Ain't no way you're not gonna know a 13-year-old is coked out.
Literally.
And you guys are just like, okay, she gotta keep working. That's probably better for them because she's up. Yeah. She keep working. She's, doing her thing.
But this industry is sick. Once you get to the bottom of it, it's really like pretty crazy. And literally, like, our favorites, like, I grew up on all of that stuff. I grew up on iCarly, I grew up on Victorious, and these are like good shows, of course, but it's, when do you hold the bad people accountable for, even though they produce something good, they did something good, they're still not good people. Yeah. So I think
everybody needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, everybody really does need to be held accountable. And even though it's good, we're gonna have to do something because that's the only way we could get to the bottom of these situations. So
yes.
Yeah.
So that is our segment for this week. Yes. We're gonna quickly move on to our wellness segment. Yes. Our wellness segment this week will be an introspective one. We want to ask you a question. So, what's an unpopular opinion that you have for yourself? Mm-hmm. How do you combat that? When you have an opinion that is not going with the group at the time, do you talk to people who have different opinions from you? Yeah. Or do you kind of adjust your opinion to fit in to the popular opinion? Yeah. And really ask yourself, how many times have I changed what I truly believe in to align with what the people around me believe in? Exactly. And is that the way you really want to live?
Yeah, literally, like, free thinker. We have to really think deeper most of the time and see what we really believe in.
Yeah, and it's okay to change your mind.
It definitely is.
It's okay to not be having the most popular opinion. Mm-hmm. It's okay to have the wrong opinion. Because what is wrong and what is right, it's very subjective.
It definitely is.
So,
and to have an open discussion about it without it being bicker. Yeah. Like, it has to be like, have a grown-up conversation with somebody about it.
And just because Nas may have a different opinion than me on something that's fundamental or something that's deep, it does not mean we can't have a conversation about it. Agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. I might not disagree with fully what she's saying, but I might have a different perspective and look at something, a part of that issue, very differently than I looked at before that. Yeah. And at the end of it, we can still be friends because it's going to be okay. Yeah. Because you know what? We all have opinions. They're like buttholes. They come a dime a dozen. Yeah. Like, it's fine. You're going to be okay.
You're going to be
I promise.
Okay.
Like, I promise. And we need to, the last thing I would say is we need to be compassionate with each other. Yes. I think that we're in a time that's very divisive, and if somebody doesn't have an opinion that is fully the same as ours, we demonize them, we call them stupid, we call them murderers. Even with the COVID thing, if you did not believe you should be wearing a mask, you were a murderer because you were killing people. Yeah. Even though you've never killed somebody in your life. Interesting. wasting.
Yeah.
So just have compassion for people, because you never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
You never know what somebody can teach you.
Exactly.
And you never know what you could teach somebody else. And it all starts with conversation. Conversation drives community, and it keeps us going. Yeah.
And that concludes our episode for the week.
Yes.
This is New Girls on the Block. We will catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.